Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice will help for you to develop your conventional life, and out of that conventional development, how you can gain your spiritual success. So one of the things you have to understand from the beginning, this all interconnected. You can't separate anything. Your action, your conventional life, your spiritual life, your liberation, anything is not separated. Everything depends on each other. So once you understand it, so whatever the step, the baby steps that you take with the very clear, confident, and with the very clear mind. So that's why practicing, and that's why all the techniques important, and it will open the doors in different ways for you to gain that confidence. So one of the things with the meditation you have to remember is deeply we are trying to understand something beyond our thoughts. So from the beginning, we need to quiet our mind to open the heart, or open that path. With this chattering mind, you can't develop the observation. But sometimes with this chattering mind, we are so comfortable. So then that's why it is important for yourself to bring the change deeper inside you. And why we need that change? That change we need to get into a more higher and more better place for you. So then always you have to remember, when you come to this world, there are things that you gain and there are things that you bring. So understanding that all and dealing with that is another way of wisdom. So one of the wisdom is that you have to remember, when you come to this world, when you come out of the mother's womb, there are certain things you gain as gift. That's the very nature of the world. What are those that you receive? You know, like sometimes when people go to see this newly born babies, people take gifts. So from the world that you gain some gift. What are those? One is joy and sorrow. And praise and blame, gain and lost, and pleasure and pain, light and darkness, and comfort and discomfort. Then the happiness and fear, and receiving and detachment, and birth and death. This is kind of like a big package you gain. Everybody gain it, and it's a kind of like a very common package. So in the middle of that all, it's a kind of like a challenge for all of us, how we deal with this package, how smart you are to handle this. Or maybe once you have, just imagine you have kind of like a big package with little items, and sometimes you look for your favor. And certain things you say, I don't want this, I don't know, you take it, I don't want this, you can take, you can have it because I don't like it. So like that, sometimes you received it, but when you look into that gift, maybe there are certain things you don't use, you don't like, and then you like to give it to somebody. Take it. I don't use it. And sometimes people, like when they have things at home, they received it and they don't use it, they call and ask from monks, hey, we have it, can we give it to you? So like that, sometimes people think the temple is kind of like, oh, you can give your all kind of like karma, or the bad karma, or whatever you have done in the past, and you can give it to temple and become kind of like refresh yourself. But the thing is here, with this package, remember, you can't do like that things. So what you can do, in the middle of this whole package, that all these items, you have to be firm. You have to be clear, solid, undisturbed, distracted. So in that way, you are capable to use this package to gain some kind of profitable skill to yourself. That itself is the wisdom, another way. So then remember, this worldly package have some kind of, it's kind of like a wrapping the wisdom inside this. So then selecting some parts, you can't find it. You have to have this all around you. Throwing whatever you don't like to others, not going to give it that. Only the joy that you can take, and the sorrow you cannot push it to others. No, you have to sit in the middle of this all, and you have to be strong, and you have to have the ability to absorb, accept this all without rejecting anything. Can you do that? Can you do that? And other things, are you willing to do that? That's something you have to ask from you. Because most of the time we look for a life that whatever in our head, and we think it is outside, and we keep chasing and looking for that and go running behind it. And that itself creates a kind of like a struggle. So nothing wrong that you go for whatever you want, but at the same time on the way in this journey, you have to remember there are a lot of things come that what you don't want or what you don't wait. But still these things come. This always in the world, is everywhere. The unexpected things going to happen. And maybe it can happen in the small scale or the maybe larger scale. So that's why, that's the reality. When it comes to the world, even the same. And look at the war that happened in between the Gaza and Palestine. And they most of say it's unexpected. So that's the very reality of the world. That is what the very nature of the world we have to understand. And if you think, oh, this is not going to happen, that is why you fail. So in the future, maybe more things going to happen. And now a lot of people get disturbed out of it. So then you have to remember, look at the history of this world. Where people are never going to learn anything from that history. People become more aggressive, more aggressive, more aggressive. And then how you can be in the middle of this all? So you have to remember that is the gift that you gain out of the world. So then, and develop your skill to be undisturbed. It's difficult because all your thoughts, your chattering mind start to come and start to say many things. That whatever that come from your head is not going to work for your life. Because when things start to happen, and it happen completely from a different point of view. So that's why that deeper inside you, if you get disturbed, then it accelerates the anger, hatred, and more and more and more it becomes powerful. The way to minimize it. So then you don't get disturbed in each and everybody. Little by little, have the undisturbed mind. In certain ways, you can contribute to the world to be a little bit. But still, that doesn't mean nothing going to happen. Still things going to happen. So then always remember yourself. Tomorrow, or maybe tonight, or maybe early in the morning, there's no timeline for that. That anything can come out of this package because it's already there for you. And sometimes we don't know what comes. But there are certain things you can develop yourself, you can practice yourself, and you can change yourself. So you can uplift your life from the greed, hatred, ignorance to loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. So we are kind of like a developer prison inside us with the desires. So then escape from that. And sometimes that we hold it, we anchor to sorrow. Be free from that. And sometimes we are the one who developing unrest inside us. So bring the peace to that. How you can do this? Just by praying, wishing, hoping, it's not going to happen. So then there are certain skills that you have to develop yourself. So one of the skills through the meditation, when you practice meditation, that you have to use as tools each and every moment when you observe the inhalation, exhalation. So each and every inhalation, exhalation difference. Knowingly or unknowingly, what happened, your physical body always adapt to that inhalation or the exhalation. If it is a long, short, heavy, soft, warm, cold, because that is the very process of this body, it always adapt to. If it is not adapt to the moment of inhalation, exhalation, so then you feel very unrest inside. So then always remember the one of the skill that out of the body, observing the inhalation, exhalation, that what you can learn, adaptability. Be adaptable. Learn to adapt to any situation. And other thing is inhalation, exhalation is not a kind of like a very solid. It doesn't have a structure. So if it is have like that, you can't have this. Like this, look, this one, it's very solid and it can't go like this to inside. It can't go all over your body. And so, as you know, if the blood become kind of like a solid, what will happen to you? So your blood flow, sometimes you know, then when you have cholesterol, doctors give some certain pills to make your blood more thicker, and it helps to the flow happens. So the breathing, observing inhalation, exhalation, one lesson that you can gain. You can adapt to any situation when you develop this fluid nature of your mind structure, because our thinking pattern sometimes develop structures. It should be like this. We plan ahead. It should be like this. And then your thought start to develop some kind of format, which is not going to match with this nature. So then what happens? You always have a struggle. So then in the very first level, remember, be adaptable and fluid. Develop that nature, fluidity. Get out of that mental structure. Another one, to do that way, you need another two skills. This all you can develop physically in a very conventional way. That one is you have to be strong. By becoming weak, you can't do that. So physically, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes economically, you have to be strong. Being poor, you can't do these things. If you become poor, then your life going to take you to different level. Then once you become poor, you get hungry. And then what happens? You want to eat. Because when you get hungry, you can't hold it. So then you go somewhere and maybe you ask from people. If they don't give, what will happen? You go and take it. You go and you try to steal something. And then somebody come and try to stop you and hit that person, and then you hit. And when you hit that person get injured, and maybe that person die, then you become a murderer. See, that poverty can take you to many different levels. So then don't be poor. Remember that. You can practice meditation. Until you come to the certain level, don't be poor, don't get sick, Because becoming sick, you can't go this journey. So that's why you have to be strong. So don't be weak. Don't be weak. So you have to, mentally, you have to put it to yourself. You have to be strong. And then you have to be powerful. Deal with your own thoughts. Deal with your own mind. You have to be powerful. With the very lethargic, lazy, sleepy mind, you can't do this. So then practicing means what? Practicing means it's not just sitting. In day-to-day life, you maintain your mind in that higher vibration. That is very necessary. Because you have to do it just by yourself. You can't depend on anybody. It is your own journey. Of course, we share our life. We have friends, families, and we have partners. We have loved ones around us. But when it comes to the very reality of our life, it is just only you. So then you have to look into that and work for that. So be strong and be powerful. Look at from this animal world to this human world, and even the deities, even to the heaven, that whoever powerful, end of the day, they're going to come to the finish line. So to attain to the Nibbana, to the spiritual journey, go beyond this conventional life. Becoming weak, you can't do this. Why? Because that the spiritual path, even practicing meditation or doing something good, that it's kind of like a war. Being generous, and in Dharma, it's a danang yuddhancha samanamahu. Being generous and giving dana is kind of like you having a war inside. Why? Because your greediness always say, don't do, oh, give this much, give less. And then your generous mind always say, no, give more, give more. So sometimes you want to give more, but yourself you say, this is enough. I'll do it later. Not today. You want to do it now, then sometimes your laziness come and tell, no, don't do it today. You can do it tomorrow, maybe next week or next month. So like that. It's always like a war. Who's going to win? Whoever strong inside you. So then, intention of your practice, or the regarding that, this awareness or the mindfulness, the idea that you hold, how strong it is. Because sometimes you want to watch a movie, you want to go here and there, you want to eat something, you want to sleep. In that very moment, the practicing the idea come to you. If it is not strong, you're not going to do it. So that's why be strong and be powerful. And the next quality that you have to remember, be open. It's very famous everywhere. Be open. Be open. We all like to be open. Now it doesn't work. We see everywhere, everybody like to know things. And it is a very kind of like a beautiful word. Everybody appreciate, be open, but still no result. Why? One of the reason is, there are many reasons, but one reason is we like to be open, but we don't like to be empty. We like to hold whatever we have, and then we like to be open. No, it's not like that. Here, when it comes to the wisdom path, be open, be empty. Being empty, if you can open, that is where you can gain something new. That new will bring the change to you. Otherwise, You keep believing whatever you want, you keep doing whatever you want, and you keep following whatever you want. And you have your own God, you have your own meditation, you have your own Dharma, you have your own happiness, you have your own liberation, you have your own Nibbana, you have your own hell, and you have your own heaven. You are the king or the queen of that your own kingdom. And you hold it to that, you think, you say, I am open to everything. No, you are not empty. You just, it's a something just you try, it's kind of like a head massage. You try to, please others. And sometimes you like to please yourself. It's not like that. Being empty means you no need to do anything. You no need to kind of like throw things away. At least just let things to be as it is. Let things to be as they are for a moment. And without bringing it to the moment, without becoming a bias to that what you know, learn to observe. Try to learn something. Without becoming biased to that what you know or your previous knowledge or what you believe, if you listen to something, then you can see some difference. But if you become biased to that, if you hold it to that what you know, then what's the point that you hearing, or it's not going to change. So that's why listening is art. Being opening is art. So you have to practice it little by little, little by little. It's kind of like a holding this. I'm trying to catch another thing. You know what happens sometimes? That everything you lose. So like that, remember, for a moment, be empty and be open. And another thing is, when you come to that level, accepting things and letting go things. So sometimes we accept things, but what we accept, that I hold it, then I become very limited to that. Like brainwash, like completely you can change the person to somebody, and then after that, that person hold it in his or her life and keep believing it. So we accept things, but we don't know how to release, let go. So then, even though that when you observe your inhalation, exhalation, that is a lesson that you gain, because that whatever this body absorb your inhalation, whatever it take, your body has a nature to release it, let go. So then what you inhale, it becomes the exhale. So then nothing called that process itself is the life. So then apply it to day-to-day life, apply it to your mind. So whatever comes to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind as perception, don't hold. Don't clinging to that. In certain way, you can do it. Of course, in conventional life, we are like to memorize things, we are like to repeat things, we are like hold it to things, but deeply yourself that have the ability, allow things to come, but at the same, let things to go. Allow things to come, let things to go. You don't claim it as yours. So you don't claim it any this inhalation, exhalation as yours. Observing inhalation, exhalation, you can come to that level. It's a very natural process. It comes without any invitation and it go without any request. So use it to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that whatever you see, hear, smell, taste, feel, for a moment. Even with the mind, whatever thoughts come, let it go. You don't struggle with it. You don't categorize, you don't judge it in the middle of that. So for a moment, if you do it, then you will see that there's a process that you go through. It itself give the experience. And the next one, be mindful and be present. You have to be mindful regarding the present moment. So what is the present moment means? Not something happened or not something. So that we are very experienced. There are three ways. One is the very experience what is happening inside you, within your body and mind. Another one is what is happening in your environment. Separately, you can observe that both, and you can go together also. That's the third one. So the first one, you recognizing the very condition of the mind, the very nature of the mind, the very behavior of the mind. And sometimes tangle with the emotions, sometimes lack of energy, drowsy, lazy, sleepy mind, very lethargic mind, and sometimes very disturbed mind. So like that, you recognize the very nature and the condition of your mind. Another one is the very environment that regarding, that's why it is very famous in the world, in conventional. That's why I say, if you cook mindfully. If you clean mindfully. If you walk mindfully. You are more focused to the outside, whatever that you do, and you do it right. And you do your best for that. So that also part of the present moment. Third one is, you bring this both together. You know the condition of your own mind inside, and at the same time, you know what you do with your outside world, how you engage with it. So that is more powerful. So that all three things together, if you can maintain, that is the culmination of the being present. And the mindfulness means, and once you know it yourself, and you start to see things more very clearly, deeply. And in that very moment, you are not belong to this timeline, and you get out of the time and a space, and you know the experience, but you are not categorizing it. And that is where you can see all cause and conditions, how things come to be as they are. So now you see the condition of your mind, and now you see the outside situation and how it happens. And now you recognize that you harness this both inside and outside together. And then by the time you're capable to see how things come to be as they are. So that is what called the wisdom. It's a one window to get into the wisdom. So this is a process. So then yourself, practice it, develop it. It's you have to do it by yourself, knowingly, and you are the one who can get the benefit. And that benefit is what? That benefit is not you going to become a Superman. That benefit is not a kind of like you start to become like a Spider-Man. That benefit is not going to be kind of like you're going to be better than the Jackie Chan. No, that benefit is deeply you start to release this inside structure and you become formless. And you get out of this mental pattern and you become free from these old thoughts. That freedom give you the liberation. So the liberation means the person bring the change to that person. And the character completely changed. That's what called the liberation. He's still the very conventional person, but still he changed. So as example, if somebody smoke and stop completely, knowingly, very conscious decision that person take and stop it from that point, and that is a liberation. It's a very conventional physical experience. And maybe you keep eating something and then you recognize how it worked for you and you recognize it's not good for you. So then you stop, you take a very conscious decision and you tell, I'm not going to take this. So that's a liberation. So like that, this little, you can have these little liberations in day-to-day life. And that will uplift you to a more higher consciousness. So by the time then, when you, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all your bodily, verbally, mentally actions transform to more higher level and come to the same frequency or the higher vibration, in that very level, your liberation come to the very peak level to see very clearly this cause and conditions or the causation or interdependence, how things come to be as they are. And so in that very moment, you recognize there is no such a thing independently exist, that everything interconnected, that connection bring the experience. So once you understand it within you, inside and outside, and that transformation, that highest level of liberation take you to the next level we call the Nibbana. So the liberation can have opportunity to come back, but the Nibbana is no return. So it is a possible journey, it's a possible experience, but you need to start with little things in day-to-day life within yourself. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in your heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So take a moment and we offer this practice to all the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribundissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.